Hey everybody, it's Zach. Back with my second week of my hobby blog. We'll see if I can keep doing this. Hopefully I can, because I got so much stuff to paint. Pretty much like everybody else who plays these hobbies. So, last week I showed you what I had mostly built and then what I had to build. This week I'm going to show you progress on some of the stuff because I've put a little bit of paint on models, not a lot, just a teeny tiny bit, mostly airbrush, actually 100% airbrush work. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to pop over to here and I'm going to show you what I've got painted so far. I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got this little zombie dragon primed, and then I've got two different colors on him so far. I'm mostly going to work with washes. It's a kind of a bone color here, and then just kind of like a gross flesh color. It doesn't look too different on the camera here, but suffice to say I'm going to use very different colored washes for the two of them. Then little guy up top, he's very unhappy as always. He's got his priming. He's still reattachable with that little pin in his butt. I'd probably be unhappy with a pin in my butt. Here we go. And then I got a little over 20 skeletons. All my sword guys that I had put together, primed and with a light bone color on them. So I'm basically trying to get enough together to where my roommate and I will be able to start doing some sort of like battle box play. So instead of my battle box of being Arcane the Black, because Arcane the Black is a little ridiculous at low points, I'm going to be using the Vampire Lord on the Zombie Dragon, and 10 skeletons, and 10 of the knights who are in various stages of being in pieces. But yeah, so these guys are in on their sticks. Here they've got a little bit of bone on them and primed. And then the vampire guy's alternative weapon. And then I got these boys primed and with a little bit of bone. And I got these guys put together because last week they were still in bags. They look really cool. I got them put together and based. I had to prop them up till the base took because I've not actually been gluing these guys to the bases. I've just been using the goop I use to stick them to the base. So it takes a little bit to let them set. But they look cool. I'll put some paint on them later. I didn't actually build any more skeletons because after building, what do I have, 50 skeletons right now, I'm not really in a hurry to build anymore. Especially because of how long it takes. And then these guys have been primed, but they're what I'm going to start working on next. I'm going to take most of this stuff upstairs to my room and to my painting table, and we're going to start putting some washes on them and then actually get to painting them. So hopefully next week I'll actually have some 100% painted models to show off. We'll see, because, work schedules and all that jazz. But at least I'll get something done, even if it is just finishing off those and having them primed. I taught the roommate how to prime a little bit, so we'll see. We'll probably see some of his orcs soon. So that's all I've done this week so far. And I might take you up to the painting table here in a minute. And I'll talk a little bit about what I'm going to do to paint these. Alright, and I'm back. I did forget to say that I finished this Abhorrent Ghoul King. I didn't glue him to a base because I don't know whenever I'm ever going to use this guy. So I just kind of put him together. And I've also had this extra White King hanging out because I was going to try to do something cool with him, but I decided that I was just going to not, because I don't really have the parts right now, and these guys are so cheap I could just buy a new one if I wanted to. So I'm going to have 2 regular White Kings. I didn't base him either. This is one of the ones that comes on the square base, so you got to trim the base bit off and glue him to a round base. But yeah, so what I'm probably going to try to do with... I'm going to try and paint this guy first. A lot of people like to save the big guy for like a reward kind of thing, but I always dread painting the big things the most because the little things are easier to pump out, but the big ones are, it's just so much work included. So for his armor, I want to do some sort of like purple, so I'm probably going to use some of this purple and probably highlight it with this is like my favorite shade of purple, this blue violet, because it's just like a nice lavender color and I like it a lot. But for the bone stuff, I'm going to shade Seraphim Sepia. And then for his skin, I'm going to shade it with the Druchii Violet. I've done this before. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna cut here and then show you something that I've done with the Druchii Violet. Alright, so this guy's from my Shadow War Armageddon team that I played. And you see like his little fleshy tubes back here? These were flesh with Druchii Violet on them. And I really like the way they turned out because they look really sickly and gross. So that's what I'm going to aim to do with this guy's flesh. So all these like hanging bits here are going to be like purplish. And I'll probably, what I might do is I might dry brush it first with this Xandri dust to give it a little bit more of a darker shade. So I might dry brush all the little like bits and bobs in there with that. And I'm probably going to paint all like the exposed meat bit here like a light red before I wash it all. Maybe even like a pinkish color. I don't know. I'll test out the pink color. But we'll see. And then I'm going to, hit it with the Druchii Violet. And then I don't know if I'm going to dry brush. I might dry brush with another flesh color. Just like a really light dry brushing on top, like a dusting. So it looks like the skin is just very sickly deep in the folds, and at tops it looks highlighted. I don't know. We'll see. So the bone work, I'm basically going to follow the Duncan style, which is shade with the Seraphim Sepia, dry brush with a little Screaming Skull and Ushabti bone, and then highlight with the whiter color. And that'll look neat. That's what I'm going to do for all these skeletons. And, like, the bone dudes back there. But, I've got... Yeah, as always, I'm a little dreading the project. Because I get anxious about whether it'll turn out how I want it to turn out or not. But hopefully, continuing this hobby blog, it'll be fine, because the stuff I paint normally doesn't turn out terrible, so I just need the willpower to go ahead and do it all. So, all right, I'm gonna cut back to me, and I'm gonna talk about, probably just ramble a little bit about different things for a minute. It'll still be hobby related, and it'll be more along the lines of what I'd like to continue to do and what I might do in the future for this. So I'll see you in a second. Alright, so that's what I've got done this week. What I wanted to talk about here was I'd like input on whether or not, well, not really whether or not, I'd like input on what you'd like to see from this vlog. And I kind of want to see if people want me to do more content. I know there are like literally 4 people who watch this right now, but I would like to, eventually get more people watching this because I'm actually kind of enjoying doing this. While I do get a little bit of anxiety doing it, I do enjoy it. But, sometimes you get anxiety about things you want to do because you're like, oh, it's gonna be terrible, and I don't want people to be So, as I said last time, I like playing video games, and I don't know if I want to start streaming video games when I'm not painting and painting when I'm painting, because I do have 2 webcams now. Because one of my roommates brought home like a recycled webcam. It's like a really good webcam, but I could rig it to where I've got a webcam pointed at me for talking, and then pointed at the painting desk when I'm painting. So it's not going to be 100% of what I paint, because sometimes I do paint where I can't stream. And same with video games. Sometimes I'll play video games where I can't stream. But I would like to stream both of those if people were interested in watching it. I did paint for a while in the stream, and a handful of people watched it. But I fell out of that because I had internet issues and computer issues, and then I just stopped painting. And honestly, streaming, just getting it set up is kind of a pain in the butt. But with the 2 webcam thing, it'll probably be easier. I will have to clean my room up a little bit better than it is right now. Like, this is angled perfectly where you don't see the mess, and you can still see a little bit of it there. And there's a pillow on top of my record box, and a bunch of movie theater posters that I took when I was like a teenager working at a movie theater. But yeah, I would like to create more. I would like to put out more content. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. This is just kind of spitballing at this point. So give me feedback. The 4 people that watch this, the 2 people that watch this, the Adam, give me feedback. So, also, I need to learn the editor better. Last week, I filmed all of my stuff last week, and I got it on the computer, and I was like, alright, where's my editor? And I couldn't find my editor because it was on a hard drive that died. So I had to track down a free editor, because I don't remember any of the other stuff for my Sony Vegas stuff, and I really didn't want to pirate it at this point. So I'm using Lightworks. So I'm trying to learn Lightworks. So my editing skills are pretty bad. So there's a bunch of jump cuts. I'd like to make it better, and I'd like to edit it better, definitely. So that's something I'm going to be working on for this. And I've kind of got a Command and Conquer review in the can. I do need to film like me talking about it, but I have footage of the original 1995 Command and Conquer, like every single mission, NOD and GDI filmed, that I can just sort through and stick on to stuff I'm talking about. And I've got like part of a script written, but I'm not super sure that I'm going to put that out or not. But we'll see. I like video games and I like wargaming, and I kind of want to put this stuff out there because it's kind of fun, kind of stressful, kind of fun, kind of both. But so I'll see you next week, because I'm definitely doing this every week. So look forward to it. Don't watch it. Doesn't particularly matter too much to me. I'm just kind of trying to do this so that I've got like a concrete destination to hit. And if you like it, you like it. And, I enjoy
making things that people like. I've got, I would love to do stuff that people enjoy watching. So, this is rambling and dumb. I'm going to cut this off before I say something really cringy and dumb. So, I'll see you next week.